Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, my name is Denis and Motorola Razr 60 Ultra is very unpredictable flip phone. It breaks every expectation, my expectation, about flip screen phones at all. Because what was I expecting? Great design, great screen, and a lot of compromises in terms of, silly stuff like productivity, battery life, cameras and so on. Razr 60 Ultra is not that. Oh, don't get me wrong, it has compromises, a lot of them, just in different places. Unexpected ones. Now, before we start, this video will be short and concise, since we already have a giant text review. Link is in the description. Still, don't forget to support us with like, subscribe and notification bell icon. Now, let's go to business. That's called foreshadowing. For $1,300 USD, Razr 60 Ultra has an obvious strong side, because what do we again expect from the foldable flip? Great design, great screen. Design here is fun and stylish. For each of all available colors, Motorola added one unique texture on the back. It can be wood, leather, silk, and, like I have here, Alcantara. Also IP48 protection. Previous models had no dust protection at all, so that's neat. The screen, both screens, are actually stellar. They are bright up to 4500 nits. They are fast up to 165 Hz. No PWM frequency is known, but the panel even supports always on display, since it's LTPO, not LTPS like my Edge 50 Ultra. Now, the productivity here is unexpectedly great. 16 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of UFS storage, and Snapdragon 8 Elite, the SoC that can play desktop Cyberpunk 2077. Can but won't, at least here. Why? Because phone can overheat the CPU up to 85 degrees in stress test, because the cores refuse to throttle. Or, if I put this another way, you'll burn your hand in games. In productivity, app opening, interface speed, SoC shines. Not in desktop mode though. Razr 60 Ultra doesn't support one, unlike Edge 50 Ultra and a lot of other Motorola's. Also, no USB 10 gigs, although Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 5.4 present. eSIM and UWB 2, but the physical SIM is only a single one. And of course, no microSD. Cameras here are amazing. 3 50MP modules that produce amazing photos day and night. Main one can do 8K 30 with OIS. And if this selfie module with no AF is not enough for you, you can always use main ones with external display. Even position phone in different angles or capture video with previews on both screens. Where's the compromise here? Well, the app. It feels like a cruel joke that Moto Camera Pro is pretty much the shittiest camera app of all prime phone brands, especially considering price. For years, no professional video capture. Also, any new fun mode blocks some features. No 8K video with external screen or camcorder mode, no HDR for Pro Photo, and so on and so forth. Also, Android 15 with Hello UI skin looks great, it's functional and is chock full of features. It has two AI helpers, Google Gemini and Moto AI. For the second one, there is even a secondary button on the left side. The battery is the final place, which has compromises. 68 watts max charging speed sounds great. Up to 16 hours of battery life, I myself tested, sounds stellar too. Up to 30 watts wireless and 5 watts reverse, also awesome. What's not awesome? Well, let's start from the fact that there is no charging brick in the box, cable only. And the speed is not actually also great. Up to 1 hour from 11% to 100 using my own 125 watt brick. Also, 30 watts you won't see wirelessly. Why? Because proprietary chargers, yes, they exist, but they are nowhere to be bought. And there is no Qi2, Qi1 only, up to 7 watts max. Well, at least some kind of MagSafe is present, as you see. It's weak, but it's useful. Now to recap. Motorola Razr 60 Ultra is not a perfect phone, but it's competent, smart and very interesting. Seriously, it's like doing my first ever phone review once again. You never know where the interesting stuff happens. So overall, for business people with a taste in luxury, Razr 60 Ultra I can recommend. Thank you very much. And that's all for me. And in the comments below, write what are your thoughts on foldable screen phones. What may make you switch to one? Price, features, or maybe increased reliability? Right, don't be shy. Also, as per usual, don't forget to like, subscribe and push the bell icon. But the comments are most important thing, as usual. YouTube just loves them. My name is Denis Zaychenko with the Root-Nation channel. Take care and I'll see you later.